The enlightened Sultan. In a land where the golden sands stretched as far as the eye could see and where the shimmering blue waters of the Arabian Sea kissed the shore, there was a kingdom ruled by a wise and benevolent Muslim king named Sultan Rashid. His reign was a testament to the power of wisdom and compassion, and his kingdom was a haven of peace and prosperity in a turbulent world. Sultan Rashid was a man of extraordinary wisdom, whose journey to the throne was marked by both hardship and learning. He had been born into a family of scholars and merchants, and from an early age, it was evident that he possessed a keen intellect. His father, a well-respected scholar, had instilled in him a love for knowledge and a sense of duty towards his people. The young prince was encouraged to read and study, not only the religious texts but also the vast realm of human knowledge. Rashid's thirst for wisdom was insatiable, and he devoured books on history, philosophy, and science. As he grew, he traveled across the kingdom in disguise, meeting with scholars, artisans, and common people alike. He believed that a wise king should be intimately connected with the lives and concerns of his subjects. The kingdom of Rashid was a diverse one, with people from various backgrounds and faiths living together in harmony. Rashid, following the teachings of Islam, believed in the importance of religious tolerance. He respected the rights and beliefs of all his subjects, regardless of their faith, and he ensured that all places of worship were well maintained and protected. This spirit of unity and acceptance radiated throughout his kingdom. One day, while visiting a bustling marketplace, Rashid came across a humble merchant named Ahmad. Ahmad was known for his honesty and the quality of his goods. People from far and wide came to his shop, and his reputation for integrity was well deserved. Rashid, intrigued by Ahmad's character, decided to strike up a conversation with him. "What is the secret to your success, my friend?" Rashid asked. Ahmad, with a warm smile, replied, "Sultan, it is simple. I treat my customers with respect and honesty. I offer them fair prices and never deceive them. Word of mouth has brought me more customers than any advertising could." Rashid nodded, impressed by Ahmad's humility and wisdom. He invited Ahmad to his palace, where they continued to converse on various topics. Over time, Ahmad became one of Rashid's most trusted advisors, and his counsel played a significant role in the king's wise decisions. One of the most remarkable aspects of Rashid's reign was his commitment to justice. He established a court of fairness, where disputes were resolved impartially, regardless of the parties involved. Rashid himself would often sit as the judge, listening to the grievances of his subjects. He became known as the Sultan of Fairness. One day, a case was brought before Rashid that would test the limits of his wisdom. Two neighboring tribes, the Bedouins and the oasis dwellers, were engaged in a bitter conflict over water rights. The oasis was the only source of fresh water for miles around, and it was a matter of life and death for both tribes. Rashid summoned the leaders of both tribes to his court. With empathy and wisdom, he proposed a solution. The oasis would be shared, and both tribes would take turns accessing the water, with strict regulations in place to ensure fairness. The Sultan also offered to fund the construction of a well in each tribe's territory to reduce their dependence on the oasis. The leaders of both tribes, moved by Rashid's fairness and compassion, agreed to the terms. The conflict began to subside, and over time, the tribes even forged a bond of friendship, thanks to the enlightened judgment of their wise king. Rashid's wisdom extended beyond the courtroom. He was passionate about education and believed that it was the key to progress and enlightenment. He established schools and libraries across the kingdom, making knowledge accessible to all. He funded scholars and encouraged them to explore the depths of human understanding, fostering an environment of continuous learning and intellectual curiosity. One of Rashid's most cherished projects was the construction of a grand library that would house the most significant works of literature, science, and philosophy from all corners of the world. This library was meant to be a beacon of knowledge and a testament to the Sultan's commitment to wisdom. It attracted scholars from across the land and beyond, fostering a vibrant exchange of ideas and a shared quest for knowledge. In addition to knowledge, Rashid valued the beauty of art and culture. He was a patron of the arts, supporting painters, poets, and musicians. The kingdom's art and culture flourished, and it became a hub of creativity and innovation. One day, as Rashid was visiting his grand library, he noticed a young poet named Layla. She was reading a collection of Persian poetry and appeared lost in its verses. Rashid approached her, and they began discussing the works of the great Persian poets. Layla's deep understanding of the poetry and her passion for the arts captivated the Sultan. Rashid invited Layla to his court, where she became the to be continued. In the wake of hearing Farid's story and seeing his unprecedented abilities, Rashid furnished him with the important assets, including a studio, top-notch dirt and devices. He likewise set up for Farid ceramics to be shown in the excellent commercial center, guaranteeing that his work contacted a more extensive crowd. The realm before long became eminent for its wonderful earthenware production, on account of Farid's commitment and the ruler's help. Rashid's obligation to supporting ability reached out to all parts of artistic expression and sciences. He trusted that by engaging people to seek after their interests and gifts, the realm all in all would thrive. Subject to his authority, the realm saw the ascent of artists, painters, researchers, and trailblazers who added to its rich social embroidery. Layla, the illustrious artist, kept on moving individuals with her refrains. Her sonnets praised the magnificence of the realm's scenes, the profundity of human feelings, and the insight of ruler Rashid. Her words repeated the opinions of her astute ruler, helping individuals to remember the upsides of solidarity, empathy, and information. In the domain of science and advancement, Rashid urged researchers to investigate the wildernesses of information. His help prompted surprising revelations in fields like stargazing, arithmetic, and medication. The realm's stargazers mentioned exact objective facts of divine bodies, adding to a more profound comprehension of the universe. Mathematicians grew new hypotheses and conditions that altered the investigation of numbers and calculation. In the domain of medication, notable examination prompted better medicines and a more profound comprehension of the human body. Quite possibly of the most celebrated researcher in Rashid's realm was a polymath named Idris. Idris was a talented mathematician as well as a savant and researcher of striking knowledge. His commitments to the realm's scholarly and logical development were incomprehensible. At some point, Idris proposed to the ruler a stupendous venture that would additionally improve the realm's scholarly legacy. He proposed building a stupendous observatory, outfitted with the most progressive instruments of the time, to concentrate on the sky and advance this comprehension realm might interpret cosmology. Rashid quickly perceived the significance of the task and assigned the important assets for its development. The observatory, known as the Divine Royal Residence, turned into a guide of logical disclosure. It pulled in researchers from everywhere the world, who accumulated to notice the stars and planets, direct examinations, and trade information. Under Idris' direction, the Heavenly Royal Residence made historic revelations that extend its comprehension mankind might interpret the universe. The researchers at the observatory planned the developments of heavenly bodies with surprising exactness and made significant commitments to the fields of physical science and math. Their discoveries were kept in the realm's libraries, adding to the tremendous abundance of information that was accessible to all. As Rashid's standard proceeded, his obligation to equity stayed unshaken. He maintained the standards of reasonableness and fairness in his court, gaining the appreciation and adoration of his subjects. Debates were settled with intelligence and empathy, and law and order ruled. Perhaps of the most difficult case Rashid confronted was a contention between two unmistakable traitors, Fatima and Jamal. Both had laid out flourishing organizations in the realm, however a disagreement regarding an important shipping lane took steps to grow into a severe quarrel. Rashid brought Fatima and Jamal to his court and listened cautiously to their contentions. Perceiving the financial meaning of their ventures, he proposed to split the difference. The shipping lane would be shared, with severe guidelines set up to guarantee fair access for the two traders. He likewise urged them to team up on adventures that would help the realm overall. The savvy king's proposition was acknowledged, and a feeling of collaboration supplanted the underlying contention. Fatima and Jamal started cooperating on different exchange projects, which carried flourishing to their own organizations as well as added to the monetary development of the whole realm. Rashid's rule was not without its difficulties and outside dangers. At a certain point, the the realm confronted a considerable intrusion by an adjoining domain. The assailant looked to vanquish the land and its wealth. However, Rashid's obligation to discretion and harmony proved to be fruitful. He sent a designation of representatives to the attacking realm, drove by the most regarded messengers. An arrangement was arrived at that took into consideration quiet concurrence and exchange, instead of contention. The fruitful strategy was a demonstration of Rashid's faith in discourse and his resolute obligation to harmony. It guaranteed the security and flourishing of his realm while staying away from the staggering outcomes of war. Rashid's heritage as a shrewd and merciful ruler proceeded to develop, and his realm flourished for a long time into the future. His obligation to equity, training, human expression, and tact turned into a model for rulers all over the planet. His rule filled in as an immortal update that genuine, not entirely set in stone by inheritance yet by the insight, empathy, and equity with which one principles. As Rashid became older, his kin praised his insight and the getting through effect of his standard. The realm's flourishing and social liveliness were the living epitome of his enlightened initiative. King Rashid's story was shared across ages, not just as a story of a savvy ruler yet as a motivation to all who tried to lead with shrewdness, sympathy, and a guarantee to the prosperity of their kin. His name became inseparable from the quest for information, the hug of variety, and the force of solidarity and equity.